Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the August cataloging committee, cataloging meeting. I don't like to call it a cataloging committee meeting because it's all of us. I hope everyone is doing well. There's Liz. She's here. Okay, so let's get started. I have linked in the notes that I sent out. I linked the cataloging committee board report. We submit a board report every month for the board. And so I just thought that I would share it for you all to see if you find anything interesting in there. As always, I'm always going to bring to everybody's attention the monthly cataloging reports. It seems like just yesterday they came out, but they do come out the 25th of every month. Note that the unfillable holds one, and then the barcode ranges one. There's two barcode ranges one, and neither of them are anything that catalogers need to worry about. I did want to mention though that there's a separate email that goes to the CERC list, and I know since many of us wear multiple hats, you might get it, but you might not as well. So if you don't, keep this in mind to the CERC people that do get it. Oftentimes on that unfillable holds list, if you merge items, if you merge something that is on that unfillable holds list, often that just fixes the problem then, because it's on a different bib, and then it targets the bib that it targets a bib that's got more stuff on it. So oftentimes your unfillable hold becomes holdable again, not unfillable. Any questions there? It's been a very exciting couple weeks for the cataloging committee. We have a couple new committee members, and none of them I think will surprise any of us catalogers. Not with us today is Warren Patton. He was unable to make it today, but he gladly accepted the invitation to join the cataloging committee. We all know how very active he is on the listserv and how he has a wonderful attention to detail. So I think he's a great addition to the committee. We also have Darcy Humphrey, who has been with us for several years, and you all know her from the listserv as well. She is always helping people and putting out emails for people to look at stuff. And then we have Sarah Gockley, who is from St. Joseph Public. She's already jumped in and really started a lot of cataloging stuff, but St. Joseph is brand spanking new, if you didn't know. So I thought that the committee thought that having a voice of someone who had just migrated in was a really valuable voice to have on the committee. And of course, she knows what she's doing. So, hey, Darcy, why don't you introduce yourself?
Okay, I hate talking in front of people. I started as a library clerk in August of 1998, and I've been cataloging since mid to late 2000s. I have a bachelor's in English. I don't have a library degree. I'm mostly self-taught. I do acquisitions. I'm also the CERC manager. I also clean up messes, unclog the toilet, that kind of thing. We joined Evergreen in 2013 after our old director left us a few months prior after not really telling us anything about Evergreen, so that was fun. I also have an associate's degree in like medical office, which is interesting just because medical coding is very similar to cataloging in a way. And I'm the mystery solver around here. I can find things, figure things out. I love data, spreadsheets, all that good stuff. So that's really about it.
Thanks, Darcy. And Sarah, how about you?
Well, I have been kind of all over the place in terms of library land. I worked in an academic library, a public library. This is my second time working for a public library. And then I was also an elementary school librarian for 9 years. So I understand about wearing many hats. I like to read. Mostly I read with audiobooks. I like to listen and knit and crochet at the same time. I have 3 cats, and yeah, that's it.
I think Sarah and I might be the same person. I also only listen to audiobooks. I have many cats. Okay, welcome to the committee, everybody. We're so happy to expand our committee a bit. I feel like we're finally working at full capacity now, and we can help you guys answer questions and get things done. Speaking of getting things done, consortium cataloger news, Liz, what have you to say, ma'am?
Hello. Firstly, anybody who knows how to crochet and wants to teach Liz how to crochet, let me know, because I can't keep the tension. If you know me, it's either really tight, like the yarn squeaks, or it's so loose it doesn't make the pattern. So shocking. So consortium cataloger news. We are done with our regional trainings for 2023. Yay. Thank you to everyone who joined us. We had about 60 people who came out. Zoom trainings are available for one-on-one and small group. There is a link in the agenda if you want to sign up, or you can always just email or text me. And it can be about anything cataloging related or Missouri Evergreen related. Anything you want really within those 2 things. Cataloging certification, obviously, as new libraries keep coming in, we keep having people get certified. Right now, I literally just added this morning. We're at 145 for basic and 88 for advanced. And guys, if your cataloging staff changes, you have to let me know. I can't read your mind and we can't guess. And just shoot us an email. Somebody on the committee, does not necessarily have to be me. Somebody on the committee, send it to Cat Help, whatever. But you have to tell us, because otherwise we have no idea. And then if somebody is then trying to contact the person that is listed as your cataloging contact, that email is probably going into the ether and it's a problem. So just tell somebody so we can update the list. And then of course, recertification is coming up in 2024. I am rewriting the certifications for the basic and advanced, so they'll be slightly different. But for the recertification, I want to assure you guys that you will not have to redo the entire thing. So rest assured, they will be, I don't want to say dumbed down because it's not dumbed down. They just won't take you as long. I'm doing it as sort of there will be like, I'm making a question bank. So you'll get randomized questions out of there. And then I know for the advanced, I'll have something where you can upload an original record, but you will not have to do the complete certification process over, because I would not do that to you all. I like you too much. So rest assured. I'm thinking right now it will be in some kind of Google form, maybe, but that might change. Don't quote me on that. But that's how we're planning on doing recertification starting in 2024. Anybody have any questions? And yeah, Sue, I know, I can't believe there are 145 people certified in basic. It's amazing.
I could not be more happy and more proud of our catalogers for so many certifications. And I know for some, it was harder for some than others. And, you know, I'm just so impressed with everybody. I'm so happy that this seems to have been a success. And it don't ever forget that it serves a purpose, that we want our catalogers to know what they're doing, so that because it helps everybody in our shared consortium catalog.
And on top of the certification, guys, I'm so proud that I get so many questions and you are never bothering me. Please ask me all the questions. I am so happy that everybody feels comfortable to ask me everything and anything and send me texts and everything else. Please keep doing that. So like, there's never a dumb question. Keep asking, keep doing what you need to do, and ask if you need something. You guys are great.
I second that. Okay, moving on, Catalogers Connect. We have a meeting agenda on the Missouri Evergreen website, so check that out for all things meetings for Missouri Evergreen. Our new executive director, he's adding a new monthly meeting to our calendar, and it's just kind of a ask the executive director, so if you have any questions, burning questions for Missouri Evergreen or for Steve Potter himself, those meetings. Steve, could you refresh my memory? I know there's one coming up.
Is it the fourth Monday?
Yeah, you caught me flat-footed. Yeah, you're right, Liz. That's right. It's the fourth. It rotates on the fourth Monday, and it's a Zoom, and there's no agenda typically. Just people come and ask questions, and anyone can come. I mean, anyone who's interested in evergreen topics can come. It's on the calendar, so you can just get that from the calendar and get the link from the calendar, and it's 2 p.m. is the time for that.
Great, thanks, Steve. I'm going to come with all the hard-hitting questions.
Oh, wait, I got that wrong. It's not 2 p.m. It's a different time. 1 p.m.
I think 1 p.m. is what you said.
Yes, 1 p.m. 1 p.m.
Okay. Great.
Everybody
Yeah.
come and try to stump Steve.
Stump Steve. It's easy. It's really easy. So.
Okay, let's talk about migrations. Cape just went live, and as a reminder, huge welcome to Cape. As a reminder, it's kind of default now for all of our migrating libraries. They do not start resource sharing immediately. There's about a month break that they get to kind of take a breather and settle in and everything, which I think is super cool. I really wish that we had that when we came on. I'm happy for them that that's happening. Nevada goes live in just a couple weeks. Remember that go lives are on Thursdays, and usually about midweek, the week before, that's when you're going to start seeing these new libraries bib records in the catalog. These bib records will not always have holdings. That is coming. So just keep that in mind. Nevada is coming on, and then Morgan County is going live in November. So those are a couple go lives that we have coming up. And as always, it's exciting and nerve-wracking and stressful for new libraries to come in. But we're just getting bigger and better with them coming in. Liz named this next thing, and I love it. Catalogers breathe fire. If you're unfamiliar with adding heat to bugs, I'm going to click out to this. So this is an evergreen bug. This is Launchpad. I'm going to go back to the agenda real quick because here on the home page, if you don't know how to add heat to a bug, right here's the Missouri Evergreen homepage, and right here is a little tutorial on how to add heat to a bug. So, and just real quick, adding heat just means, hey, this bugs me, this bothers me, I would love to see this fixed. And the more heat that is on a bug, that kind of catches the eye of the coders and the people that do that kind of awesome thing. And the catalog, it also kind of gets the attention of the cataloging working group as well. And we're lucky enough in the Evergreen community that the cataloging community is, we feel very well heard in the coding community. So we often can get some changes made. Bug squashing week is, I think, next week. So there's the potential for these things to be looked at and fixed. When there's a big push like that on bug squashing week and stuff like that, that's when things really get done because people have set aside time to do this. People much smarter than me who know how to code. Anyway, so this is the one that Liz chose to have everybody go into and add heat, if you will. So this one is the issue of if you go into a bib record and say it's a book record, but you change it to an audiobook, the fixed field grid up top, it doesn't change automatically. So it doesn't have all the necessary fields to fill out because it's not refreshing and filling that out. I think that I looked over this and I think if you, is it just refresh or open it in a new tab? To see the upgraded grid, you have to open the record in a new tab. So that's super inconvenient. Liz, do you want to say anything else about this one?
This one was actually sent to me by our new committee member, Sarah, which she's down here in my thing. Sorry, guys, it's probably different for you. But so my thinking was for each month to add a CAD loggers, breathe fire, and we'll put a particularly annoying bug. And then so you guys can go in and add heat, and maybe that way we can get some of these particularly annoying things looked at quicker. So this one is a pain in the behind. So this is the one for this month. So if you guys have any bugs that you come across, send them and maybe they will make the agenda and we will breathe fire on them and hopefully disintegrate them. We'll see. We'll see what happens.
And I would argue that this is a little more than just annoying. It can really, it hurts your workflow as you're moving along and doing cataloging and stuff. So,
I was trying to be polite.
Yeah, anything like that affects our workflow, we want to try to get the attention of the powers that be and get it fixed. Okay, just a couple things that we're going to hit on today. If you haven't already, please go to the parts questionnaire that is linked here. We just want to know how your library circulates sets, and I'm just going to, and this is, no secret. It's we're just sharing data here, and it's just a drop down. My computer's taking forever to load. It's a drop down together, separate, and there's no maybe. So we have a lot of people that have put notes in, which we do appreciate. This is just, like I said, data gathering for the committee to see, what the future might hold for how we do parts in the future, and it helps inform questions that we have for Equinox as well. So if you haven't done this survey, please do so. It will be very helpful to us. All right, we are going to talk about the a young adult genre heading. I'm not going to say the young adult genre heading because there isn't one. As you all know, in Missouri Evergreen, we only used authorized Library of Congress subject headings and Library of Congress genre form terms. So while juvenile fiction is an authorized term, young adult fiction is not an authorized term. It is not an authorized free-floating subdivision. We get a lot of questions every month. Hey, can we use this? Why can't we use this? What's the deal here? So the committee, actually this past month, we had a discussion and we laid out some pros and cons of what it is, because we were considering allowing a local subject heading or genre heading for young adult fiction. And the cons definitely outweighed the pros. And I know that that's disappointing to a lot of people. But I mean, first and foremost, it's not authorized. It's not correct cataloging to use this genre form, the genre heading. So that in and of itself, gave us a long pause to consider this. But also, one of the major things for me is what is young adult is so very subjective, and it's so very, one library might have it one way, one library might have it another way, and labeling it as young adult, as we know in this, how do I say this politely, political climate, we don't want to necessarily draw attention to this kind of thing. I mean, libraries can, of course, shelve their young adult stuff wherever they want to. If you might have a new adult now or what have you, but us using the genre term young adult fiction is not going to happen. So, I mean, that's a bummer. If we're really leery of starting the, potentially opening the Pandora's box of allowing local content into our catalog. And this was definitely just too big of a deal for us to start with potentially. So this is a no-go. Anybody have any questions about that? I know that it'll be frustrating to a lot of people, but we're catalogers. So Liz mentioned the 385 and the 386 last month. She linked out to that stuff, which I meant to link again this month. But so just a little more about it. These are Library of Congress demographic group terms, LCDGT, yay, another acronym that we all get to try to remember. These, if you don't know what these are, I would not be surprised. I mean, these are, these are new to me, we don't use them widely, and they are fascinating. And Liz and I are really looking at them and seeing how we can utilize them. And I mention this now because this is potentially a place where we could, designate something as young adult, maybe. So the major concern that we have, Liz and I, of course, is how these fields interact in the ILS, if they're searchable, how they're, how you can see them, what the search parameters are and stuff like that. So this is potentially something that could be really exciting, and that would be helpful to us in Missouri Evergreen. Any questions about the 385 and 386? I mean, there was no life-altering news I've shared there, just that Liz and I are looking into it, but they're really fascinating if you want to go take a look and look at what they are. Okay, Mark Fields 101. Last month, Liz went over ISBNs, which is one of my favorite fields. 024 is an other standard identifier. So what we most often see in the 024 is UPC codes, of course. This is where for AV materials, they don't usually have ISBNs, they have UPC codes. So and these serve a purpose. Just like an ISBN, these help us identify the correct thing that we're trying to match or the correct thing that we're trying to find. The 024, the indicators, usually, like I said, I'm speaking broadly here because we do usually use the 024 for UPC. So your first indicator is going to be 1, and then your second indicator is probably going to be 0. But these are the standards for that. If you feel like yours might not be a 0, for instance, and then your subfields here, I mean, normally you're just going to have a 024, 1, 0, subfield A, and then you're going to put your UPC code in. Now, more locally, you might pay attention to if you use a barcode scanner, like my barcode scanner, it'll add a 0 in front of whatever I'm scanning, which is super annoying. Excuse me. And that is actually, I don't know if I should even mention this, because sometimes if you scan a number and it comes up totally different from the numbers that are printed there on the UPC, that's actually 2 different 024s, and there is a difference there. So Liz, could you take over for just a second? I'm about to choke.
Can you allow me to share screen so I can move it? Okay, so let's see. Now I have to, give me a second. See how fast I can get through this. There we are. Okay. All right, so now you're seeing my screen of the OT4 in bib format. Okay, so you want to remember when you're doing your UPC, so the 1 and the 0, but when you slide down here and it tells you the UPC appears as a barcode symbol with 12 digits. Remember that, 12 digits. So if you have a UPC code on the back and it has 13 digits, that's actually probably the ISBN, because sometimes the publisher will be sneaky and put the 978 ISBN with the UPC, but it's not really the UPC. It just happens to be down there with it. Okay, so be careful with that. So if you see that 13-digit number down there, no. A UPC will usually start with like sometimes a 0, sometimes not, but they are only 12. If you're finding something that is shorter than that, you want to make sure and come up here and find, it could be like your international standard number. See, look here, do not enter. Yeah, not the UPC, not the UPC. Okay, the international standard number. If you're finding things that are shorter, you want to come here and look at the examples, because there's all sorts of identification numbers that we don't necessarily use in the United States. So we're not going to see them a lot. However, if say you ordered something from a vendor on Amazon, and it's actually Canadian, oh my, you may have to put that in somewhere and it's not something you're used to seeing. Kate, are you all right?
Yeah,
You need to send an
thank you.
ambulance? Okay.
Any number that is going to help us identify this, you know, you might hear what Liz said and be like, this is, you know, not worth it. This is not, this seems like going above and beyond or whatever, I don't know. But any identifying number is going to help catalogers in the long run, always. Let me see.
I always think of the UPC as the ISBN of like CDs and DVDs, because a lot of times they don't have the ISBN.
Yeah.
So it's just as important for those. It just goes in a different field.
So going along with the 024 is often the 028, which I'm sure we will get to in our Mark Field 101. But for those AV materials, the 024 and the 028 are, you know, super important, and really the only way that we can identify things, as they don't usually have ISBNs unless they're nonfiction or something like that. Now Liz is also going to talk about DVD versus Blu-ray.
All right, and now I'm gonna like bum everybody out. I apologize. So DVDs and Blu-rays. I know. So I think, and I'm gonna eat some crow here, I think Liz was doing this wrong. I don't know everything. Don't be shocked, because I don't know everything. So apparently, this is an RDA thing that I did not necessarily know until I actually went and looked at the answer for someone else. But DVDs and Blu-rays, let's say you have a set with a DVD and a Blu-ray in it. When you are cataloging that, you don't put one video disc and then the E, one Blu-ray disc. Oh no, you say 2 video discs. They are considered to be the 2. So it's considered a family of physical format, right? Because they share the type G, they share the VMAT B, so they would get 2 video discs. That's very confusing, and it would be very confusing for patrons, correct? Correct. However, that's the right way to do it in RDA. Now, where would we actually put that those video discs, one's a DVD and one is a Blu-ray? How would we know that? Well, in the fixed fields, right, we would have 2 007s, right? We would have one 007 that says, hey, this is a DVD, and hey, this is a Blu-ray. So you would have 2 icons. So that's one way the patron would see it.
Liz,
Okay,
have you
but-
tested that? Can we actually see 2
Yes, you can.
icons? Awesome.
Yep. The 300 then, okay, again, that one's the weird one. And then your 3XX field, you're supposed to put both. Okay. Anytime you have like a kit, or let's say a book with a CD in the back, anytime you have something combined, you put all the things in those 3XX fields. Now you may put the one that the thing is first above it, but you may end up with 20 3XX fields. It get long, it get big, and it's annoying, but that's technically correct. And we were talking, you know how I like to say, we're cataloging with our pinky really high in the air, we're cataloging with it very correctly. Okay. The other place that you'll know that this 2 video discs is one a Blu-ray and one a DVD is your 538. This field is very important. Okay. That is where you literally say DVD, comma, the other chunk about it, or Blu-ray, comma, the other chunk about it. And also, something else I was doing wrong is Blu-ray dash little r, not capital R, little r. Now, why I thought that was a big R, I don't have any idea. That's just bad Englishing. And I'm bad
I think
at
it's
grammar.
because it sounds like a brand name. you know.
Maybe.
Yeah.
So we can all shame Liz later off camera. I don't know if I can take the shaming now, but I was doing this incorrectly. So I wanted to let you guys know the difference in the similarities in this. Okay, so the 07s are going to be super important. And where did I find out and have to eat crow? Well, I listed it. In the agenda, you'll see it link out to OLAC. OLAC is the Online Audio Visual Catalogers. They're the fancy people who make the rules, basically. They're who, when I need best practices, I go and look. And they actually updated all this stuff in April of 2023 and said, oh, hey, look, this is how you do this. So I have one pulled up here. So let me share screen. All right. And there's a whole list of examples that are great in there. And so this one, look, a DVD Blu-ray combo. Thank you, OLAC. I love you. Here are their fixed fields, G, V, their 2007, their 300, 2 video discs. Shame on you, Liz, for not knowing that. And then, of course, come down here, the 538. Now you can combine these into one, or you can have two. It's a repeatable field. So whatever, they did one. Contains Blu-ray disc and then contains DVD disc. There you go.
Am I the only one that's not seeing the screen?
Shoot, I thought it was just me because I was the other
Okay.
presenter.
No,
I'm
I
sorry.
can't either.
Okay, wait. Oh,
This is
okay,
just the cataloging clown show, everybody. We'll get there.
Okay, let's try again.
I was gonna say I have to go up to view options and click her screen is how I had to change it because I'm like, where is she seeing this?
Can you see my screen now?
Oh.
Or you see the agenda still?
I can see it, but I had to go up and switch like Lee said.
I don't even know what Lee said. I don't understand what.
Up at
Lee,
the
you're
top of
smarter
my
than us.
up at the top of the screen, I can click view options and I can either check mark Liz there. Okay, now I'm on Liz's screen. Yeah.
It was me. I messed up.
Oh,
We get to shame Kate instead. Yay.
no, please shame me also. Okay, so now do we see this example now? Awesome. Okay, sweet. Now we'll go through it again. They have amazing examples for like every single thing. So like bookmark this on your computer, guys. Like you're gonna want this later. So here is how they like have their fixed fields listed out. But you'll see their type, their TMAT. Here's their 007, right? So one is for a DVD, one's for Blu-ray. Scroll down, see the 300, 2 video discs. Scroll down some more. Here's all, look at all these 3XXs, guys. Oh my. And then we get down here, keep going. Where'd it go? There it is, 538. Blu-ray, DVD.
you might look at all these 500, 3XX fields and think, this is overkill. Why do I need to do this? But remember, cataloging is metadata. Metadata on the back end, it's helping us display things. It's helping us search things. It's doing stuff on the back end. So while it may seem overkill, it's doing something back there.
Did it bother anybody else that all of the 500s are out of order?
Technically, I know.
I mean,
this
I'm
is-
sure they're not.
Yeah, I know.
but
They don't go in numerical order, which also makes my eye twitch, because why would you
Yes.
have something numerical that does not go in numerical order?
I have a tough time with that too. I think
Uh,
it's supposed to be like order of importance kind of, but
yeah, it's,
I mean, again, that's subjective.
yeah, I hate it. I hate it, thanks. Because like, look, even like the 500s aren't together. Like this one's first, and then we have something else, and then a couple more, and then another one. Who did this? Anyway, I know this is probably not what anyone thought this was supposed to look like. It definitely was not what I thought it looked like. I don't know when this changed, and I did not know. Or maybe it's been like this since RDA and it wasn't something I was told. I don't have any idea. But now that I know, does anyone have any questions?
I have a question.
Yes.
So, does this apply when we get a Blu-ray and DVD combination that we are separating?
No, if you're going to separate them and they go on two different records, then whatever is the single record will only be the DVD or only be the Blu-ray. But if you're going to keep them together, then you would have this weird hybrid record like that one.
And so I know for the Wonder Books, for example, the
Mhm.
order of the 007s, which by the way, you call the 007. So now
The
I'm just
00,
going
yeah.
to, I'm going to call it the James Bond field now.
I really
So,
like James Bond growing up. I'm sorry.
so it matters which order the James Bond fields are in for certain things. So does it matter in this case?
Well, I would say yes, because if they're calling it a DVD and Blu-ray combo, that to me says put the DVD first.
That was my next question. And how do we decide what goes first?
If they say a Blu-ray DVD combo, I would put the Blu-ray first. I mean, that.
So I will say that most of us, we are going to separate our DVDs and Blu-rays, but we do have a lot of combination bib records in, and we do have libraries that circ them as a set. So don't forget that if you get something as a set and you separate it, that's then 3 different bibs. You have a Blu-ray bib, you have a DVD bib, and then you have the combination bib. If you have the combo and you're separating it and there isn't a combo bib in there already and you're not going to circuit as a combo, you're not required to put that combo bib in just because you have the combo and you're dividing it. But whomever comes in first that is going to circuit as a combo, then that will make a 3rd bib. And so those are all legit bibs. Liz and I find stuff all the time that we're like, I didn't know this was a rule now. If you're not going out and seeking this stuff, which a lot of us aren't, we don't have time, then, we're behind the curve sometimes. More questions for Liz for the DVD Blu-ray?
It's probably made a lot of people sad, and I'm sorry. I'm sorry it's not like we want or expect.
One thing that I did want to mention, just as we're talking about annoying things, disc is spelled with a C, not a K. There is a difference. And pretty much we're in the year 2023 and we're using a C. The K means something different from way back when. Okay, that's all we were going to cover today. Does anyone have any questions in general that you want to talk about?
I just have a comment.
Let's have it, Lee.
Okay. So you remember the email you sent a while back about the e-records, the books or whatever, when you're looking up a title or something? I just want to say thanks for the rabbit hole that you sent me down, because now I do it all the time instead of doing what I need to be doing.
No, so what Lee's talking about is that if you, some of you, your default is probably to not show electronic records. And I absolutely understand that, because like Lee said, if you don't, it takes you down a rabbit hole. My default is to always show everything, so I can see, I have a running bucket that I just add ebooks to. So the email was, if there's an ebook record in there and you just try to delete it and it won't delete, you're like, what the heck is happening? It's the 856 field. There's a certain subfield in the 856, which is the subfield 9, that essentially makes a holding in Evergreen. So you just strip out all the 856 fields, resave your bib, and then you can delete it. And then the bib record is gone. Of course, this is going to be like, why do we have so many e-records in our system? Why can't they just be deleted? It's easier said than done, unfortunately. On our list of many things that we would love to get to the bottom of with Equinox, this is definitely on it. Until then, you know, we do what we can. For those of you that might be comfortable with this, I will tell you that like I said, I put things in a bucket. I have a bucket of, 80 things or whatever. And then I will go in and in your bucket, you can edit all the bibs, which it's a different screen, and you kind of have to know what you're doing. And with those, I just delete all the 856s at once, and then I delete all the bibs at once. So if anybody would like to know how to do that, I would be happy to show you. I also know that last month Liz promised that I would be making a how to transfer video, and I have not done that. So I will do that as soon as I can. I was waiting to move into my new office, which I have, but now I'm just now in the middle of chaos in my new office. So that's how it goes.
Now, guys,
Thank you.
With the e-records, there were some added, a few with Cape Girardeau, like there's like 130 left. They have holdings attached. They're supposed to be book records. Do not touch those. I'm fixing those, but I have to fix them one by one, and I've only gotten through like 55 of them. So if you come across an e-record with a holding attached, you don't touch it. Okay, they'll be gone hopefully within the next month and a half, but we know how long it takes to like merge and everything like that. So leave them alone for now. But
yeah, thanks for mentioning that, because these e-records are definitely the ones that don't have a holding on them. Not
yes.
If it has a holding on it, then it's just miscatalogued, and it should not be an ebook record, most likely.
The naked ones can leave.
Yeah, the naked ones can leave for sure.
I'll definitely take the bucket option. So if you're wanting to help with that, I definitely would know that.
Okay.
Because I did them each individually, and I'm like, there has to be an easier way to do this. Because yeah,
I'm the same way though. I can't ignore them, Lee. I just put, but instead of doing it one by one, yeah, I add them to a bucket.
Yeah,
it's one of those things that's annoying when you see it, and when we say like buckets are very powerful, this is one of the things we mean. Like you never expect how you can use them, and you're like, oh, I could use a bucket for that.
Okay, guys, any more questions or comments? I feel like when I run the meeting, it's 45 minutes long. When Liz runs the meeting, it's so quick and concise, and it's 25 minutes long. So I will shut up and we can get out of here.
I get nervous and talk fast, I think.
All right, guys, next meeting is September 11th. We will see you at 11 o'clock. If anybody has questions, you can email Cat Help or Liz or any of the committee members on the agenda. See you guys next month.